Welcome to On the Road with Mick and Bobbe. This is the first of many long drives on this road trip. So we figured we might talk some shit. And for the two people out there who want to listen to us,
two? That's ambitious.
fine, one.
But maybe. The one person who has nothing better to do than listen to
This
an
is for
Aussie
you.
and a Swede talk about nothing while driving.
This is for you.
So we had a good discussion, or a little bit of a good discussion earlier, about the world and how big it is and how exciting it is. We were driving along and we were both just sort of, I guess, blown away by the fact that, well, everyone in Australia at the moment's asleep, and yet there's still 300 million people on this side of the world that are all doing what we're doing, driving along. It's amazing.
Yeah. I'd like to go to space. Can't you do that with the... didn't Virgin start like the galactic thing where you could...
Yeah, I thought there was something.
Like private people can pay a boatload of cash and go to space. That's something.
Imagine that.
That's something I'd do if I had too much money. I
How much that cost?
Too much. It's probably filthy expensive.
Yeah.
I wrote some stuff down.
What about?
To talk about.
Yeah? What have you got?
Okay. Well, we bumped into Ben from the Buried Life the other day, and I was pretty starstruck.
Pretty starstruck. Let me paint a scene for everybody here. Pretty much something like that. So here's what happened. We're in a restaurant in, sort of halfway between Venice Beach and Santa Monica in LA, and we're having some good food, catching up with some friends from school that we hadn't seen in years. And we've been drinking a few beers, and I needed to go to the toilet. So I get up and I go to the toilet. Anyway, as I'm leaving the toilet and I come back, Bobbe's walking towards me and says, "You are not going to believe who's walked in here." And immediately,
like,
I was
A-listers.
I was like, these like Sylvester Stallone's just come in, or Anthony Hopkins is just driving by, Brad Pitt's just stumbled in, and Bobbe goes, "Ben from the Buried Life," and my reaction was, "Oh, wow, how about that? Like, what a cool dude." And Bobbe was like, "Oh my god, oh 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 my god."
I must admit, man, I got real nervous. Like, because I knew I was going to go say hi. I had to say hi.
Absolutely, yeah, there's no doubt.
And, like, as one of the list items is to take a picture with a celebrity, you know, we obviously don't believe in, like, faith and all that shit, but it was pretty perfect. Like,
Yeah.
it was pretty perfect.
Like, we had a good discussion about it afterwards, too, about how, you know, celebrities, like, I mean, they impact people in different ways. So you've got your A-listers who everyone knows because they're on just about every movie there is that's ever made, but then you've got people, I guess, like Ben, for you, from the Buried Life, that, you know, are by no means an A-list celebrity, but, you know, you would have preferred to run into him than to run into Brad Pitt.
But you know what was the cool? Like, I'd never even thought about, like, oh, I wish I could meet him in that sense. Like, I told you, I put on my own bucket list that I wanted to party with the Buried Life guys.
Yeah.
But as I'm writing it down, I'm like, this is never gonna happen. You know, like, this is never one of those things that I'm gonna commit to and, like, try to make it happen.
Yeah.
And then when he walked in, I was like, fuck. I was like, oh, I gotta say something to him, and then I got nervous, and I was like,
So what'd you talk about? What'd you say to him?
I just said, you're Ben, right? And I just had to come, you know, shake your hand, whatever. Really admire what you guys do, blah blah blah. And I don't know. I guess he asked some question and stuff, and He's obviously like a really nice dude. And we were kind of, you know, I think we weren't annoying, but he was obviously in like a dinner, so you don't want to. I think that's the worst time to be interrupted. Like if you're a celebrity, when you're like having dinner with somebody, you don't want people to come in and be like, "Hey,"
just all over you.
"Hey."
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd like to hear your. Okay, say you are in his shoes. How would you want people to acknowledge you? Would you want people to say anything? Would you want people to pretend like they don't know who you are, even though they do? Or like, if you were, you know, had a fucking TV show on MTV, like you're pretty famous.
Yeah.
You got more than 1 million Facebook followers. Like, how would you want people to acknowledge you or like recognize you?
I mean, I think if people are gonna come up to me,
Yeah.
I think you want them to do it the way we did that,
Yeah.
or the way that you approached him, because it was how long were we there? Maybe a minute.
Yeah.
Like
about
maybe.
Yeah.
Like it would have been a lot less. Like, you know, and it's I mean, he seemed pretty happy to do it. But yeah, no. I guess if that was me, that's kind of what I'd hope. But I think that his sort of patience would wear thin if there was 10 people spending, you know, even just 1 minute with you. You'd just kind of be
Right.
like, a little bit tired. But I don't think anyone else in that place knew who he was.
No, that was the funny thing was when
Yeah.
when he came in, I was like, that looks a lot like Ben from The Bird Life, and then I saw his friend introduce him to other people, and he was like, oh, Ben, and I was like, oh, it's him. So they obviously didn't. I don't think they knew who he was.
Yeah.
Like by the reactions.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting, man. I stumble upon these projects that people have that I find like absolutely fascinating. That just isn't getting the credit it deserves to me. Like surely they had it. They had their MTV show, but nobody knows about the show. Like how many people have you met that like, oh yeah, I know that show. Like nobody knows about the show.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like, it's fucking cool. They just go after their dreams and like, they're just 4 normal dudes that go after it and make shit happen. To me, that's like the coolest fucking thing.
Yeah.
Guys who just, like we were saying earlier, how when you want something, fucking sit down, come up with some sort of plan and fucking just go after it and see what happens. That's what they do.
Yep.
I thought that was fucking cool. And there's another, I don't know if I've sent this to you, but there's a guy, another Canadian guy, his name is Corey something. He's doing this Millionaire by 25, that's what the project's called. Have you heard of it?
Nah.
It's this kid, he's like 24, 23, and he's got fucking blonde chicken and Evo just rolled by. He's got his mom. He was raised by a single mother, and they've always been kind of poor and stuff, and he's always been like hustling, you know, to kind of like help out the family, whatever. But he's one of those kids that's like a real hustler, like a real salesman who can just like get shit done. You know, he could sell really well, face to face, all that stuff. So he wanted to retire his mom so she could get a house, you know, live like an okay life without having to worry and stuff. So he's doing this project which is called Millionaire by 25, and the objective is to make $1 million by the time he is 25. So 2 years from when he started. So he's got a bunch of app businesses like ebooks and stuff like that, and I think he's making about 10 grand a month in revenue at this point. And I think what he's trying to do is just do that up until like the last minute, and then just sell off the businesses and see what he comes up with.
Yeah.
But to me, like, that's a fucking noble cause. That's pretty fucking cool. He's going after it. He's trying to help his mom. And, like, he's got, like, no followers. And, I don't know, I guess he's getting more attention, but he's been on it for a while, and I'm just kind of, like, surprised by that. Because when I hear that, I'm like, that's a cool dude. That's a cool project. I want to know more. I want to follow along.
So how'd you find him?
I don't actually know. I just stumbled upon it somewhere on Facebook or something like that. Oh, you know what? I was watching, there's this thing called Creative Live where they bring in people who are awesome at what they do for like a weekend of teaching, and they teach other people. Yep. And he was on there as a guest, like not as a speaker, as like a student.
Oh, right.
And then, yeah, I saw him through some Tim Ferriss stuff. He wrote the 4-Hour Work Week. But Like, what's your reaction upon like first hearing about this project? Is that something that you're like, oh, I want to check this project out, or you like?
Oh yeah, of course, it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I guess you know, there's a lot of people that you know say they'll do all these things, but not many people actually try and do it.
Oh,
So
that's one of the fucking things I hate the most when people talk and never do anything.
yeah, actions speak louder than words.
It sure does.
But yeah, I guess the thing about that is how many parallel stories would be running right now that people trying to do exactly the same thing.
As him?
You know, yeah.
Honestly, I don't think so.
I think there would be that we just don't know about.
Really?
Yeah.
I really don't think so, man.
Yeah.
Gee, I heard the story about, it was like Macy's or something. Like, I don't know. It was, they were trying to fill some managerial position at Macy's a bunch of years ago, and they were trying to do it externally, and all the people that worked for Macy's at the time, they were like pissed off. They're like, why aren't you hiring us? Like, we already know the company, blah blah blah. So Macy's like, they apologized and like, okay, we're gonna do it internally instead. We're gonna give you the training, we're gonna give you everything you need, you know, apply, blah blah blah. Here's what you have to do to get to the, you know, here's what you have to do basically to get the job.
Yeah.
Qualifications, whatnot. And then 3% or something of the people that qualified applies for this job. And that's just like testament to the fact that, you just said that you think there's a lot of people like doing that at the same time, but like the amount of people that actually go after what they want, it's like 3%.
Yeah, so that means like when you blow that up. To
Yeah,
the
but
world
how many
stage.
people have that as their thing, like to retire their mom and make $1 million before 25?
Oh, of course they wouldn't have exactly the same story, but I think there'd be a lot of people that would be out trying to do similar things, like obviously for other reasons. But I don't think.
Yeah, I'm talking about the specific project of like making $1 million before like a certain date. Surely there's a lot of people out there like trying to make money, get money.
I know a dude that's like, you know, trying to make $1 million before he's 30.
Yeah. Okay.
But I guess he's not doing
Maybe
it
it's just not as
public. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's cool. I would love to do some project like that where you set a goal that's kind of like you're gonna have to work for it, you know,
Yeah.
and it's a bit more long term.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. We got a bit sidetracked, but what I was gonna ask you was, do you know, regarding the whole celebrity thing, who you would be super starstruck by?
I was telling you, like, I met Delta Goodrum, who's the...
I still don't know who that is, but I remember it was like right after our last trip.
Exactly, it was, yeah. It was last trip. I saw her, I think it was in Singapore or Hong Kong airport, and then we obviously were on the same flight, and then got back to Sydney, and she was just standing there waiting for her bags. She's an Australian singer, by the way.
For you one person who's listening and isn't from Australia.
Exactly. She's a beautiful girl, like very nice, really, really pleasant, like just a friendly person. And I spoke to her, and I wasn't very starstruck then, but I guess, you know, it's sort of different circumstances. I think I would be really starstruck though by someone like Hugh Jackman, to be honest, like an Aussie big time celebrity. But I think I'd be starstruck by him just because he's like such a nice dude. Like I would get the impression that he would sort of try and talk to you.
Right. Yeah, he just comes off as like the guy you want to be, basically.
Yeah.
Like he's just too fucking cool for his own good.
And I think that, like, you know, if you were to run into someone, a celebrity that wouldn't talk to you, I think you'd probably just, like, you know, go into rapid fire and just ask questions, and you'd kind of lose the moment. But imagine if they started asking you stuff. You're like, why do you care about me? You know, like, I think that would that's what would get me like, whoa, this is pretty surreal.
Yeah, but you know what? I think people when you just seen somebody on a screen, you automatically just assume that they're this like non-human thing.
Yeah.
And then when you meet someone in real life that's like a celebrity or whatever, and they turn out to be just like a down-to-earth normal person, you're like, oh, I didn't expect that, but that was pretty cool.
I guess it's a thing that, hey, you can't, like you say, you look at them and, you know, you don't think that they've got, like, you know, basically heart and lungs, you know? They're just like, they're just like
they were born for being in movies, or born
exactly.
for the TV.
Not human, and then when you meet them, you kind of like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
These are actually real people.
Pretty cool. But I think, I mean, what with the Ben thing, like, he's not a huge celebrity, but it's like their show had a big impact on my life. So I think it's more about that, like how that person or what they stand for, what they do, whatever, ties into what you're about.
Yeah, exactly.
That probably makes you more starstruck.
Yeah. What's the relationship?
Yeah. So
you can tell this conversation's influenced by location. Being in LA.
Yeah.
Unreal. I'm convinced I saw Zach Galifianakis. I'm 100% certain I saw him.
No, you didn't.
Oh, he was there. He was standing on Hollywood Boulevard. Just standing there with a fake...
Do you realize how absurd that sounds? Do you realize that Zach Galifianakis is not going to put on his fucking hangover shirt and go hold a baby on Hollywood Boulevard?
Granted, but it was him, I swear. I looked at him and said, that is a very good impersonation. And then he looked at me with like or is it? And I was like, holy shit, that's Zach Galifianakis. That's what I realized. Guaranteed. He was staying next to Elvis. He's still alive. I didn't know that.
I don't believe that. Bullshit.
It was 100%, man. Like, well, I was with Pauline and Pamela, and I said to them, I'm like, girls, don't you think that actually, like, that is a really, really good lookalike? And they're like, yeah. And then I've also heard that he's known for doing random stuff like that, like Bill Murray going up and kissing people in the street, that kind of thing.
But those, okay, Zach Galifianakis, I can see him doing that.
Absolutely.
The Bill Murray things, they're just fucking stories that people make up, like the Chuck Norris stuff.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens.
Nah, I'm convinced.
Well, we're never gonna know.
Never gonna know unless someone's posted something.
Never ever. Never ever. Forever ever. Never ever. So, yeah, LA. I mean, we didn't really go out hard. That was kind of like, I don't know. I guess we should have done that.
Well, I was at the W for that pool party, which was pretty ballistic with Pauline and Pamela. That was unreal. I couldn't stop laughing. I think the whole time I was in there, I was
laughing.
Just laughing. Just the situation, like just the whole thing that was going on around me. That's not common, like back home. Like you don't. Like I was saying to the girls when we went there, I was like, in my head, I saw it as being like, there's a barbecue, shitload of sausages, obviously a pool, and people drinking and hanging out, music.
Right.
I wasn't expecting people to be buying Dom Perignon Magnums and just spraying them all over everyone for the hell of it, and then pouring Verve just wherever they want. It just doesn't make sense. And then it's just Grey Goose everywhere, and it was just far too like glitz and glamour. I couldn't believe it. It's just unreal.
Yeah.
Plus, there were chicks twerking everywhere. I've never seen that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought that it was just like a joke. I didn't realize people actually.
I didn't know about that word until like a couple of weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago. I was like, it just came out of nowhere, and then I started hearing it everywhere.
Everywhere.
Twerk this, twerk that,
twerk.
Miley this, Rihanna that.
Exactly.
Fucking twerkaholics. Everyone just became a twerkaholic overnight.
So I feel like after a few of those vodka Red Bulls that we had,
you started twerking?
I thought I might as well
Put on
try.
your fucking Australian Speedos.
Exactly. Started shaking.
White legs came out.
Exactly.
Twerked the shit out of that.
And that's when everyone left.
Party. That's why I was home at 7:30.
Exactly.
They closed the fucking place down.
Yeah, that was good. Like, I'm happy that happened because it was kind of one of those. I feel like I experienced LA because of that, you know.
Because of the twerking.
Yeah.
I didn't see any twerking, so I didn't get to LA. So, we were talking earlier about summarizing LA in one word. Is that it? Twerking?
Yeah, I know. That's how do you summarize it? Like
Twerk.
I mean, like because you want to try and include homeless and glitz and glamour
And the Bugatti Veyron.
somehow.
Like,
Exactly.
You want to fit them both in the same
How do you put that into a
range.
one word?
Long range.
Exactly.
Long range, son. Okay. What was the last good TED Talk or good speech or something that you saw that you remember? Because there's some good shit out there.
Yeah.
Did you ever just end up on TED Talks for 4 hours
TED
just
Talks
watching?
are awesome. Yeah. Some of them are really good.
I haven't really been watching.
Actually, the most recent one I watched was maybe a week ago before I left. Is this San Fran? Yep.
Yeah.
Getting there slowly. Yeah, it was on the brain. Actually, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, they're interesting. I love those ones, mate. They're the best.
What was the? I mean, it's
So-
a big subject.
It is. So he was talking about sleep and how sleep affects.
Oh,
I
I think I saw that one.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
It
It was all about sleep, right?
yeah.
Didn't you feel like his conclusions were quite basic? We don't sleep enough. We should get 8 hours of sleep, and
Yeah, they're
that
always
was-
like that, though. Hey?
yeah, but
But I guess the stuff that he was talking about, what your brain actually does when you're asleep, and how it consolidates learning and da 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 da. Can't remember everything, but
yeah, me neither. But I remember I was heading out when I started watching it, and I finished it halfway, and then I just pulled it up on my phone when I was walking out,
yeah,
and I watched it, and I was like, at the end, I'm like, you didn't really get anywhere with this. You just told me that as a population we don't sleep enough, and that when you get older you need less sleep is a myth.
yeah, that's true.
That's basically what he.
And teenagers need more sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was the last one I saw. But I rewatched the one on. It's called How to Buy Happiness. You've seen that one, right?
How to buy happiness?
Yeah.
Oh, as in like spend it on other people. That
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That one. But that's interesting.
Yeah.
So for you, one listener who hasn't seen it, the conclusion, the summary of that is they did experiments where they would give people $5, spend it on yourself, and then other people $5, spend it on someone else in different cultures, and then they give people $20, spend it on yourself, other people $20, spend it on other people, and the conclusion was just spending money or doing things for other people makes you happier than doing it for yourself, and it doesn't matter how big of a thing it is. You wouldn't get happier by spending $20 on someone else than $5.
Yeah.
It was more the principle of doing it.
That you were doing something for someone
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
I guess that's kind of why we start putting some helping other people items on our list, because
Yeah, it's more rewarding, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, no question.
So other than that, I mean, there's a few that I'll rewatch every once in a while. The Art Williams Just Do It. Have you seen that one?
Just do it.
Yeah.
No, which one's that? Who did that?
Art Williams, I think he started an insurance company, and the speech is from 1987.
Oh wow.
You haven't seen this? I must have sent it to you,
I think
man.
I might have actually.
I used to watch
Sort
it
of
every
ringing a
day
bell.
for 2 months. It's so I could probably run through the whole thing with his accent. It's so good, man. It's really good. He just basically has these principles for success that are, if you are going after something, you'll watch it one day and you'll be like, oh, he'll hit one point. It's like, fuck, that's exactly what I'm going through. 2 months later, another point. Oh shit, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. He just knows, and he knew this 26 years ago.
You just knew.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, how about we wrap this up? Nice.
We ain't rapping shit.
Nice 15-minute.
That's nothing. We'll keep it running.
We'll wrap this and then we'll do another one
For what?
for later. Later. Oh, 25 minute. Is it?
Yeah, just leave it on. You tired of talking.
We're not rapping. We're not rapping. We're still going.
You're fucking twerking
We're going.
and rapping.
We're doing
and
it
she's
live.
yawning.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it.
We'll do it live.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. And I will leave you with a fucking thing sucks.
What does that mean?
What?
Play us out. What does that?
What does that mean to play us out? To end the song? To end the show?
To end the show?
And then chucks the pen. Like he thinks I was Jack and he's gonna beat someone up. Ole.
Oh boy.
Ole. That's some funny shit.
Just hold on.
Just hold on, we're going on. Alright, so San Francisco. What are you looking forward to?
Francisco.
I'm looking forward to walking the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, that would
and
be cool.
Kissing a California girl.
I'm actually as well looking forward to handing out some sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yes.
I'll like that.
Just hold on, we're going on.
That'll be really good. And walking the gold. I wonder how long that'll take. Probably a couple of hours, hey?
I have no idea how long it is.
We've
but
got to do it all tomorrow too, don't we, really?
pretty much, yeah. I've got a meeting at 10.
10
And
a.m.
then after that we can do it. Take the exit on the right.
Oh, this one up here.
East.
Oh, shit!